Something I've talked about a lot is loving what's happening and remembering who we are in truth as love. That what is, shall we say, God, infinite consciousness, infinite creativity is love. And that everything that we see is imbued with that, with the gold frequency. We are all love made real. And one of the most profound and extraordinary things that has happened to me has been when I really did embody that and understand that. For example, I had some very painful things happen in my past, and I went through a period of feeling so out of control, and one of the ways I tried to enact control was through hoarding things or holding on to things, especially the past. It was like I had to remember things from the past, all that suffered for me, all that I did that incurred suffering, in a sense, so that I wouldn't forget. I was obsessed with the fact that I could possibly forget what I had been through and that I'd have nothing to show for my life and myself, for the moments where I was unparalleled and very gifted and a very high achiever. And also the people who gave so much to me, or almost keeping track of those who did, inflict pain on me, or who died having suffered, as though if I threw away the things from them that indicated how tormented their lives were, it's like the fact that they died would be in vain, because their lives were almost so ugly that it caused the death. And if it's like, well then, holy crap, how do I actually show somebody that's what's true? But you don't necessarily have to, right? It's in our heart, and memories shift, and as we shift, things shift. And I actually believe that as we change, the world around us changes, because it's just reflecting us. Very quantum physics thought and possibility there. As we think we are, meaning the world, also very Cartesian, where the world responds and is created through us. And so possibly as we change, even past timelines change, at least how we perceive of them. But the most powerful thing related to this and love was, notwithstanding years and years of work that was cognitive behavioral, inpatient, outpatient medications, off the medications, much more esoteric work, lots of meditation, et cetera, there were still boxes and things around me that to me almost proved I was a fraud. And there were even family members, I understand why they said this, but who maybe were worried about me, like I was lapsing back into a really dark moment of my life where I was essentially indigent and I had to be cared for. But really, it was just still there because I hadn't fully learned to love everything that's happened in my life, no matter what. And this brings so much emotion, actually, to be the space that, okay, I'm bearing witness, I'm observing, I'm being very loving and kind of thoughts. Well, what about my own bloody self and my inner child that felt raked over the coals and even raped in her life, just so abandoned and so hurt and so just left to the wayside? And here are these boxes that almost are representative of her and how I treat myself and whether or not I am a safe space for myself. And I kept berating myself for, wow, again, I'm a failure, I'm a fraud, I'm not evolved, I'm not changed if these boxes are still here. And the moment I really embodied love, I was able, there are lots of motorcycles here right now, I was able to look at these boxes and realize when those thoughts started to circle and cycle in my head of, oh my God, like, you should have cleaned it. It's been the quarantine. You should have cleaned these out 5 times over, etc. I stopped myself and I said, I see you, judger, inner punisher, inner hater, self-hater. It's okay. You're allowed to be here. And also, I'm allowed to be exactly where I am. Everything that's happened actually has been for my highest growth and expansion. And even if I didn't understand why it was happening at the time and it felt so excruciating, it's what needed to happen. And here I am now, and I can make a choice to let myself keep letting it be excruciating, keep letting it torment me, or I can just love it and accept it for what it is and know that the time will come when I'll be able to go through these boxes and it won't be debilitating, paralyzing, and so agonizing. It'll be pretty effortless and fun even. I tried to make it fun in the past. I tried like playing music, and I mean, when I was in therapy in an outpatient program at UCLA, it was experimental. It was so intense trying to go through the other boxes and really learn how to release things when it's kind of so tied into the psyche and deep trauma. It was not fun. It was brutal work, and it's not for the faint of heart. But I, in this moment, truly learned to love. And anytime I'd walk in the room or the boxes where I'd say I love you. And this might sound really fucking hippie and silly, but when you genuinely mean it and you genuinely realize that you've been shaming the shit out of yourself. And as David Hawkins would say, another Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, identifying fully with the slave self, with the ego, with the false self. That's an illusion. It's just a conglomeration of a bunch of patterns and complexes from your parents and their parents and society and a bunch of other people. It's not you. It's just some type of programming. And we're here to shed that and remember who we are in truth, right? So when I was really identifying not with the shamer and the guilt and the judger, but with love, whoa. It was not much longer after that where I was listening to myself in meditation, in the sense that I wanted to give space to my inner child, and I asked her what she wanted to do today, and I heard, let's clean up boxes, let's sort through boxes. And I was shocked. And I went up, and the first box I opened had like gnarly stuff, really fucking awful things in it that I had to go through, really painful things. And I was just tearing them up, throwing away, and it was easeful, it was effortless, and I wept. And it was such a beautiful moment. And that, my friends, is the power of love. And also being at Griffith Park during the late spring, early summer, with a bunch of people going up to the observatory. It's bananas. All right. I love you.